Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian, Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four. Gotta give all praises to Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Gotta give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Rawchaa, Qadash. I'm gonna give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Don't let me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to flock how to live, repent, fast, pray, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who dwell into the elect of Israel, whomever they may be. Lord willing to be part of this, be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So, some precepts, Lord put spirit on me to go through with these news today. Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. You know, it's everybody that's been in it still real young in this truth. You know, so you know, the water for all the guidance to be able to exalt the name of Yahawashi and Yahawashi and to be in order. And you know, we us new brothers, we need to be ones who listen, you know, because we're so new in the truth that, you know, for once they get a little bit of knowledge, they take it and they try to make it somebody who was in the truth before them, and that doesn't work like that. There's an order. You know, the Lord has us in. If you want to really be one of those 144,000 elect men who's ready to die for Yahawah Shalak, you're going to be in whatever line He put you in, and be prepared when that your line, you know, to pay for that sacrifice for Yahawah. We're here for, we're not here for ourselves. You know, yeah, the Lord's going to bless us. He's going to give us things. It's like it. Yeah, He's going to bless us. He's going to give us things, but it's not about us. You know, His name. He sacrificed Himself and gave us all this time to try to do our own. So that's why we're not here for that. We're not here for ourselves. You know, that's just a couple things I wanted to say before I got into this lesson for the new brothers that come across the page, whoever they may be. And, you know, Lord will take you out. So this is some things I wanted to go over. This is talking about, I did about a month ago, close to a month of Northern Lights in Oklahoma. And they did come the night before, like last. And I wanted to do a video about it, but I didn't get a chance to. Had other things going on, a little other videos. So I'm coming back to come across that. And I put in some, you know, towards prophecy. So let me get this worked out. All right. So this says geomagnetic storm warning in progress for the northern half of the United States tonight into Monday. So this is about a day ago. About a day ago. So in what is called a Halo CME core injection, geomagnetic storm warning is now in effect to the northern half of the United States. It was sparks throughout tonight through Monday, and the Northern Lights was here last night. I didn't get to see it. Wasn't over here, but they were in the northern part of Oklahoma, and I want to kind of show. That's why the Lord put the Spirit on me to put that video, because I'm going to put in some precepts, and it's going to show you what He's doing in the earth. Everything's being shifted because, you know, knowledge is being in what's the word I want to say? It's being reminded to the He specifically chose to remind. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You know, that He specifically chose them to be in. So let me get this. This just shows a couple videos of it. So bear with me. It's having a little going low. Yeah. They had a video of it. This is going real slow. I can do this one. We'll do this one. It's raining out here today, so and that's going a little slow. So I want to show it. I might just let me see. It's always a problem when I'm trying to do something. I don't want us doing nothing. All right, so make it easier. Yeah, that's in Arizona though. The ones. And over Minnesota and Arizona too, but I specifically just want to touch where I'm at. But that's what it said when I did the video a couple of weeks ago about how it would come over here. Just showing that the Lord he's causing some things in the sky. Yeah, I think this is the one.
Shot a number of people took to Twitter to show the beautiful night sky. These photos were taken from Fredericton, New Brunswick. The northern lights were also seen in parts of the United States. The second time this year, in fact, the Aurora Borealis has put on a widespread dazzling show across North.
See, 18 states. So that's not something that's normal, you know, and that's because of that storm they were talking about, that geomagnetic storm. That's the Lord. He's doing stuff. You know, they always trying to be like, yeah, it's because of these electrons and blah 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 blah. It's because it's Yahawah showing he's about to put great wrath on the earth. That's what's coming. You know, some of these were taken to Oklahoma. So, you know, I wanted to see it, but what, you know, pretty cool. You know, Lord does a lot of things. So, I want to put in some precepts kind of concerning. And I'm going to first start off with Luke chapter 21, verse 25. Okay, so this is Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And it reads, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and the distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars. These are signs showing that the time has been shifted, you know, to another time. Luke 21, verse 26. Men's heart failing them for fear, looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heaven shall be shaken with the intercontinental ballistic missiles in the east. Verse 27. Then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud of great glory. And that's what we're all waiting on. You know, that's what all the hopeful elect are waiting to see. You know, look back and you know, gain his rightful throne. You know, in these other camps about exalting themselves. They don't care about what Yahawashi wants to be done. So this is Acts chapter 2, verse 18. And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath blood and fire and vapor smoke. And that's them nukes that's coming. And the sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon into blood before great and notable day of the Lord come. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to get this intercontinental ballistic missile and ascend. Everybody else who's left here said the other nations shall weep and mourn because they figured out that's the one that we crucified 2,000 years ago. We remember now. It's going to be too late to repent. We're going to have to get took out. So Luke 21, verse 11. And it reads, in great earthquakes places and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from. these are some of these great signs that are coming to pass. You know, we don't have northern lights out here. Okay, that's something that's showing that things is really changing. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 13. And I will show wonders in the heavens and the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. It's all written through the Bible that this event has been, ordained by Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. I'm gonna go into some other things concerning the dollar. You know, every day new things are coming about the dollar, de-dollarize. So this is another blow to the U.S. dollar. BRICS new development bank offers in local currencies. Another major financial institution is ditching the U.S. and what comes to yet another blow to Washington. According to the recent reports, a new development bank of BRICS nations loans in local currencies of member states. So this is a big deal, They're able to do loan get people, and it says also as confirmed by Dilma Rousseff, a new chief of development bank. The move is a step toward de-dollarization. As much as 30% or 1/3 of total loan amount will not be in greenback. And that's a big deal. A lot of money out of what America was making. Shalom. So, we are going to go to a couple other videos and we're going to put in some precepts. So it says the U.S. suffered stating hyperinflation, war, starvation as BRICS dumps dollar. So see, they never said about war and starvation until now. Now they're coming across with it. And this is somebody who wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I guess he's somebody who's, a lot of people listen, is issuing a dire warning to Americans, saying that the country is likely to witness one crisis after another as BRICS nations sends their dollar back to the U.S. because it's gonna cause hyperinflation because there's not people spending money. That's gonna cause everything to go bad. In the new video, and that's their plan, and it's all the nations' plans to do this because Revelations chapter 17, verse 17. He said he basically put it in their hearts and their minds to fulfill this will and to give their power unto the beast. So in a new video on the Rich Dad channel, Kiyosaki tells his 3.1 million subscribers that the U.S. at risk of suffering hyperinflation, war, and starvation as other major economic powers come together to divide the supremacy of the US dollar in the world's reserve currency. And I even did an article yesterday talking about even the top central banks are, because they want to push that seed. They want to push the grog money. Yeah, everybody knows this guy. Everybody, if you study and stuff and look into economics and look into things, this guy's, he's got a lot of people listen to that guy. So this is just, kind of showing, we're going to read just a little bit of this. It says, it says the BRICS, which is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, Africa, and it's also Saudi Arabia. The SA can be Saudi Arabia, and the India it can be Iran. Possesses a major threat to stability of American society of alliance of nations, could trigger the hyperinflation by sending their reserves back to the United States. That's what's about to happen. They're about to send all of it back, and they're about to take loans and start doing their own thing. So that's what's going on. So now we got a stop, okay, upon rice. A global shortage will make it expensive. So there's a global shortage coming in rice as well. And they talked about it because which really from stir fry to sushi, rice is a staple in many cuisines across the world, but accessibility is about to change according to a new report by Fitch Solutions Country Risk and Industry, which states that we are expected to experience the worst global rice shortage in 20 years. The shortage is likely attributed to prices which are affecting over 3.5 billion people around the world. The cost increase will be worse than the Asia Pacific consumes 90% of the world's rice. According to the report, which is dated April 4th, price rises are expected to at current highs until 2024. The cost of rice averaged 17.36 per CWT through 2023 is only expected to go down to 14.50 in 2024, and that's just what they expect. But what's going on? What's going on? You know, the global shortfall is predicted to come at 7.8 metric tons, meaning the world will be the largest global rice shortage since 2004, when the deficit reached 18.6 million. To fact that this is happening, but not let alone this is happening, nobody else is using the dollar. This is what's going to be different this time. It's going to be a lot more severe. So now we're going to read precepts into this. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 20. And it reads, and this is what's going to happen to America, Babylon the Great. It reads, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the zephyrs make their fold there. And that's what's coming. That's what's coming, because all the people who are making this place rich, like Arabia, Saudi Arabia had a lot of, gave us a lot of profit. And now that they're over there making their own currency, big drop that is going to, put this place in derision. It's going to put this place in a state of panic. So you're not going to let them have shortages. You're going to have, you know how the Americans are. They start buying everything up because they're wicked. They prolong their own lives. And don't think about nobody else. So we're going to go back a couple scriptures. Isaiah 13:17. And it reads, behold, I will stir up the Medes, and the Medes is Iran, against them, regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Why? Because they're buying massive amounts of it. So when they come over here taking this place up, they're not going to really worry about, gold and riches. They already have it. So they're going to come, and that's what the Lord said that they're going to do. James chapter 5, verse 1, and it says, go to ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. These are the beginning of those sorrows. Your riches are garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. It shall eat your flesh with fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. And that's what these people have done. They heap together whenever there's panic and pandemonium going on. But the Lord's going to destroy it all. And ultimately, be what's not destroyed at the time being before the place is destroyed. It'll be for the elect to eat, because He's going to give us that spiritual power. Nobody's not going to be able to mess with us, Lord willing. Grateful. So this is Psalms chapter 75, verse 1, to the chief musician, to Altashif, I think that's how you say that's Salakia, a song or psalm of Asaph. Unto thee, O Yahawah, we do give thanks, for that thy name is near thy wondrous works declared. This is verse 2. When I shall receive the congregation, when I shall receive the congregation, I will judge. And that's what we're doing. We're judging uprightly because it's the Lord's judgment. That's what we're putting his judgment in the earth for him. And the earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the Selah. And that's what we're doing. We're bearing, this burden of no thirds of our people are going to die, but also being men about it and standing up in great boldness. And, we're declaring that this is righteous. This is what's supposed to be done. Other people look at it like, well, how could the Lord kill someone? Well, he says, I'll kill and make alive. Of course, he's going to kill people. That's what he does. This is justice, a balance. They can't live. It's got to be some people who don't make it, and this is righteous because of what they did last time. That's why I look at it like, hey, there's two ways you're going out. If you serve Bahasham, Yahawashi, and you perish, it's a good thing because then you are precious to the Lord and you're going to come back in the first resurrection. If not, and you make it, you're precious to the Lord. Or you be 2/3 and perish and come back and be ashamed because you didn't, and then you got the other 17 nations, which we're not even worried about them anyways. We here to talk to Israel. That's why we, whatever, they're slaves. We ain't worried about them. So this is Amos chapter 4, verse 6, and it reads, and I also given you clean teeth in all your cities, and want of bread in all your places. Yet ye have not returned unto me, saith the Lord. Talking about this. And also I have withholden the rain from you, when there were yet 3 months to cause it to rain upon one city, and cause it not to rain upon another city. One piece was rained upon, and the piece wherein upon the rain not withered. And there's a place right now where in Oklahoma where it hasn't been raining, and they got it to where they can't even use our water but once a day. I'll bring that up later though. This is verse 8, and it reads, so 2 or 3 cities wandered into one city to water, but they were not satisfied. Yet ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord. Yahawashi, talking to 2/3, because the other nations can't even return. They don't got nothing to return to. The laws and statutes and commandments weren't given to them. So this is Amos chapter 4, verse 9, and it reads, I have smitten you with the blasting and mildew. Your gardens and your vineyards, trees and your olive trees increased. The pale worm devoured them. Yet ye have not returned to me. They don't want to return. So let me get this. This verse 10, I have sent among you the pestilence after the manner of Egypt, just like he did last. Send it over here. Your young men I have slain with the sword, and that's coming up in World War III. And then, it's little bits and pieces of it as we, go on in this truth. We see so many people that perish and have taken away your horses. The stink of your camps come up to your nostrils, yet ye have not returned unto me, saith the Lord. And there was just another article talking. There's horses that's getting diseases and dying. There's new diseases, horses too, is killing them. This is all stuff that's happening in the scriptures. I have overthrown some of you. I will overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and ye were as a firebrand plucked out of the burning. Yet ye have not returned unto Lord Yahawashi. And that's 2/3. They don't want to come back to this truth, and they're not. Focus on the elect of Israel, and we show, hey, this is to remind us of where we don't transgressing, so we can stay in the right spirit. So this is Job chapter 5, verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee, and in war from the power of the sword. And that's why we count on Yahawashi to deliver us. We don't count on anything, but he's ultimately working through his men. That's why when we get rebukes or something from the elders and apostles, then we do it because we know it's the Lord telling them to tell us. Psalm chapter 37, verse 19, they shall not be ashamed. So you're not going to be ashamed. Why? because we're going to be protected. And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. That's what we pray to Yahawashi and Yahawashi for, that He delivers us. And in the meantime, we're going to do His work and we're going to keep His people in the faith. Because a lot of people, they focus on, we said we're supposed to focus on the day, but we're supposed to focus on the spiritual. We're not supposed to focus on, physical things that we see in front of us. A lot of when you're going through grief and going through something, it's for the Lord to show you, something that, looking at the brighter situation. He said to rejoice when you're going through these things. Because he's preparing something for you. That's void without something. Everybody here who's comfortable here is about to be destroyed. Psalms chapter 105, verse 16. And moreover, he called for a famine upon the land, and he break the whole Salakia, the whole bread. So that's what he do. He breaks staff of bread, he breaks stuff down, just us down. So he can put that spirit in us that we need. Because in Jacob's trouble, there ain't gonna be no, you're gonna have to simply just be. And when he says move, we move. Isaiah 65:17, ton of spirit we're gonna have to be in. No questions asked. He tells us to jump in the water and start swimming. We better jump in the water and start swimming. Ain't gonna be no take your shoes off first. No, jump in that hole with the shoes, whatever, Not saying that's not what he's gonna say. I'm just saying, speech, what he says do, we just do it. And right now it's training. That's why when the elders and apostles, when the men above us tell us do something, that's it, just do it. It's simple. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17, for behold, I create new heavens, new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. So that's the thing that people don't understand is when we get to the king, we ain't gonna be thinking nothing about this place. We're not gonna be thinking about nothing that happened here. We're gonna be more happy about things that we got coming to us. So let me do this. Okay, so we got Isaiah 65, and now we got Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 17. And it reads that they may let me go back one verse. Lock you. It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break bread in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is basically us. Slovakia. Let me go a second. Slovakia. Got a lot of stuff going on today. Okay, so it says, once again, Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 16, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. Anywhere where we're at is Jerusalem. And they shall eat the bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink the water by and with astonishment. And they may want bread, and that they may want bread and water and be astonished with one another and consume away for their iniquity. And that's what we're supposed to repent and convert and come back to iniquity, because the Lord is doing something every day. Every day. I can't get enough news articles, to keep up. There's still stuff that I miss, and that's literally the Lord puts the spirit on me just to do nothing but the scriptures through articles. And it'd be so many you can't even keep up. So Psalms chapter 25, verse 14, and that's what they think, these are secrets. It says the secret of the Lord is with them that fear him. And he will show them his covenant. He's shown us his covenant. He showed us that, we're particular people. We're not supposed to be like these other nations, squandering after this dollar in fear about it failing. He's going to take care of us in that. Salakia, I have some issues. Come on now. Man. Okay. Okay. All right. So like I said, like be like these other nations. We're supposed to be a particular people who are not in fear of these things that are coming and being dismayed by these things that come. You know, he's going to take care of us in that time. He made it where, you know, Adam, which we know, you know, there's people who are deep in the faith, you know, we Rawchaa because he's the first creator of all beings. But, you know, he made it where he lived 930 years, 930 or 960. I don't want to quote it wrong. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's 930. It's been a while since I've seen that verse check. So I don't want to go off at all. Yep, 930. So I still remember. Okay, so he lived about 930 years. So how? So you might not even need food to that time. You don't even gotta eat. You know. So it's just all types of things that you got to keep in mind. You fear hunger at that time, especially us who serving the Lord. You know, we're gonna be okay. You know, and then we're repenting and converting and coming back to the truth. So now we're gonna deal with some situations with the AI and with precepts about it. The corner office just called a conversation about the new conversational AI with business and brand, bringing this to the brand leaders, and they're bringing this to the top. Okay, they're finna put this and implement this in, and they're not gonna need us no more. Okay, they're not gonna care about it. That's why most of us they're gonna ship off to World War III. The ones that's not worshiping Yahawah, all those men who out here just living great like they want to. Lord gonna say, all right, go fight for America, Babylon the Great. Then they're gonna have to go over there and die, and that's when there's gonna be few men left, and it's just gonna be a bunch of robots working shit, and that's gonna fail. Cause why? Because there ain't nobody to buy shit. It's just finna go down, man. It's finna be bad. So this is talking about we'll just start right here. It says, I have little doubt that somewhere in the world in the past, an enterprise IT or digital marketing exec has been called to the corner office or a boardroom to explain the chat GP, that robot, they got this doggone robot that be having human conversations and making look like they even got some of them, the first descendants of Esau, which are Edomites, who claim to be the Jews, the small hats, the Rothschilds, they be doing their church sermons. So it says in generative artificial intelligence and large language model. And if in that position and knowing my audience will have no patience for tech talk, I'm at the discussion of these 5 points that it's a very big deal and it's advances faster than they can imagine. Daniel numbers or the Daniel to be, you know, the knowledge will be increased to and fro. And so on our side, we're getting spiritual knowledge, and on their side, they're getting, you know, carnal knowledge. But they're going to get to the point, which is the MOTB. So you do a little bit more, and this is something something new that they're using. Turn this up a little. Let me see. Let me turn this down a little bit so you can hear it, because I don't know why it's not that loud. Just lock it, bear with me. Let me take a little bit.
Conscious, where you have certain types of food considerations. I'll just show you. Picked up one of these. Used to eat a ton of these when I was a kid. Can I eat this?
Fuck yeah. Having a little bit of, I don't know why it's not loud at all.
Health conscious, where you have certain types of food considerations.
Why is it so low? Let me pause this real quick. No, no.
The only tool that
I don't know why it was so not loud. So now I'm going back to there.
we could find that allowed us to interact.
Okay.
Let's say you're health conscious, or you have certain types of food considerations. Picked up one of these chocolates. Used to eat a ton of these when I was a kid. Can I eat this? So I can't eat these anymore.
See, like, and it got his medical thing. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're doing now. They're using the thing.
But what's cool is my AI knows what's best for me. But I'm in total control.
You hear that? That's for me. You see what I'm saying? They trust this damn shit.
Anyway.
And see, that's what they try to do. They try illusion of this stuff is useful, you know, trying to think that they're in control, but you know, we all know Yahawashi is in control. You know, you can't have free will and predestinating time. It doesn't work like that. You know, the Lord is destining these people to do this wicked stuff. Therefore, so this is that what he's talking about. That it says Bethany is calling is literally on his hand. See what I'm saying? That's the stuff that's their new AI wearable little transmitters, and they're gonna connect it to the sea hip. They're making more progress on things around it so that they can make it more appealing for Jake to take it. So now we're gonna go over here. It says companies prepare employees for AI. Artificial intelligence soon be in some way be a part of a future American workforce. See, they're going to take over people's jobs before employers and employees can prepare themselves for a new dynamic now. It would be wide for employers to reconsider what skills will be deemed valuable in the future of work. Employers may need to start investing their employees in a whole new way, re-examining the most beneficial and professional development tools. What they're really saying is we're going to cut people off. That's what they're saying. Shalom, Mark. They're going to start cutting people off. Okay, that's what they're going to start doing. Now we're going to pull up some precepts right here from GMS in his likeness, and it reads, 1 Timothy chapter 6, 6 verse 20. Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, so-called. And I think that's it. Yeah, you know, and that's what we're doing. We're avoiding all these things that they're saying that is going to value us, deem us valuable. You know, we're supposed to keep these things committed that we are supposed to be, you know, feeding the sheep sound doctrine from these devices that the devil has made, you know, which is, you know, the deceiver, which Esau, Edom, so-called white man. This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 3, and it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And these are these lies that they're putting out there that, you know, all this AI is going to be, but really they're using it to get rid of us. They're trying to get rid of Jake. This is why we got to trust in Yahawah because we're going to be outcast. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his madness. So it says, lest Satan should give an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That's actually a precept, so I'm gonna be able to leave that one out now. So the water for those out. No, that's one of my big brothers, way longer than me, and you know, we make sure we show them that we appreciate, the hard work and also the men above us, above them. These is our big brothers and elders and apostles. They tell you to do something, just do it. You're gonna be way better off. And that's a problem with a lot of young brothers that comes into the truth. They despise order. So now we're gonna put in some precepts. Second Edge, chapter 16, verse 4. Oh, verse 4. Salakia. And I was doing some studies yesterday, and it's actually the second Edge, chapter 16, verse 30. Doing some studies yesterday about Revelations chapter 11, and when you go look into Rome, America took instance, and they were just talking about the 12 feathers and how they're the 12 feathers. They're the 12 emperors of Rome at that time, along with Julius Caesar and all those things. It was a very edifying video. I posted it in my community board. So this is back to the lesson. This is second Ezra chapter 16, verse 34. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. So they're going to get drafted, and they're going to have these robots all everywhere, and their husbands shall perish of famine. And that's what's coming. It's only going to be few people left, who the Lord chose to stay here. Psalms 91, verse 7, and it reads, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000, but it shall not come nigh thee. This is the kind of faith we got to have in Yahawashi. That he's not going to let none of this evil touch us. And he said, 6 troubles shall trouble thee, but the 7th, he said, no evil shall come nigh thee. None. It'll be though. So we got to be spiritually ready. This is Mark chapter 13, verse 22, and it reads, for false Mashiachs, Christ in Paleo Hebrew, which means anointed, and false prophets shall arise, and as many that has, and shall show show signs and wonders to seduce, if it were possible, even near the elect. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to seduce the elect gadgets, but they can't. Like we know that it ain't no good. So this is Revelations 13, and it reads, and he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth. And that's what they did. And that's talking about Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The big man and little, I think it's fat boy, little man that, that they used to bomb those 2 cities in World War II talking about. These are some of the great signs that they did along with these robots. That's how we know that America, Babylon the Great, this is who is to deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which have power to do in the sight of the beast, which is basically in the EU, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, see him, the charagma, the grain of rice that you put in your hand, you scan to get into your door, which had been by a sword and did live. And that's what Revelations chapter 11 was talking about, that they were wounded, they were destroyed. Okay. And then they did come back. They did come back as a revived Roman Empire. But when you look in Revelation chapter 6, verse 4, it talks about a red horse. That's Esau Edom, so-called white man. And right here, GMS in this likeness with another precept, and no marvel, for Satan himself, which is the spiritual demon that's in the Edomites, so-called white nations, so-called white man, himself is transformed into an angel of light. That's what they've done. They've tried to make themselves look like they're the ones who are miracles. But we all know it's Yahawashi. So now we're going to do 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Oh man. Keep taking off my number lock. Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter. Oh, you did that one. Okay, cool. That's the one I had down. So let me go to this next one. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 68. And it reads, "For behold, the burning red is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." That's what the Lord them take this Quran. He's gonna make some of our people take it. You know, a lot of the 2/3 is gonna take. You got some people who, you know, who's over here that's in the truth. You know, that's the Lord's gonna make it take because they became idle. They didn't want to keep doing it. They fell out of the truth. And that's why we don't want to be like them. We don't want to be them people who the Lord say that we didn't finish the work. Don't give this vow and then don't perform, don't vow to do it, you know. So don't so this is talking about 3,000 migrants protest in Mexico against detention centers. Okay, so we're gonna put this in here and I'm gonna put in some precepts.
About 3,000 migrants in South Mexico marched towards the capital of the country on Sunday, demanding an end to detention centers of the capital to speed up the application process for U.S. asylum. The migrants set out early Sunday from the city of Tapachula, Guatemalan border. Protesters say their aim is to reach Mexico City and further demand changes in the way migrants are treated in these deals.
Okay. So they over there protesting about, you know, detention centers, which is what? Concentration. They setting that stuff up over there. The stuff is starting to happen at a fast rate. Every day something's going on. So that's why we got to diligently stay watching, you know, but all of us have a specific duty to the body, you know, and I just went to the Lord, you know, I'm not part of GMS, I'm just a follower. So I'm doing all I can. And if the elders and apostles, you need to be doing this or doing more of this or doing less of this. That's what I'm going to do. 2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 3, and it reads, "When there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars in the people, of the people in the world, then shalt thou well up, think of those things from the last day, from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." And that's what they're talking about. That's what's coming. Spoken of since the dawn of time, and people still don't believe. And it's got to be the Lord making them where they can't believe. He said he lied. He would deceive them. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. So this is Psalms chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, "Why did the and the people imagine a vain thing? Salakia. The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers together against the Lord Yahawashi, against the anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and catch from us." And that's what they really ultimately want to do. They want to get rid of us with these damn robots. Verse 4, "And he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh," which is Yahawashi and his angels, the Lord's derision. So in the end, they're not gonna get the last laugh. You know, Yahawashi is gonna tell them. Psalm chapter 46, verse 6, and it reads, "The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved, he uttered his voice, melted." And that's what's coming. He just gonna utter his voice. This place gonna get destroyed. You know, but things got to come into play first, which is the Quran being made mandatory, the famine, the pestilence, many. So this is Psalm chapter 83, verse 2, and it reads, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate of the head." Okay, that's what they did. They had taken crafty counsel against that and against our hidden ones. And when you go further into it, it talks about they have said, "Come and let us cut them off of being a name of Israel may be in no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee." And, you know, it talks the tabernacles of Edom. so-called white nations, the Ishmaelites, who own you 7-Elevens of Moab, so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, which is East Palestinians, which is, and then you got Gabal, and then you got Ammon, and they're also Palestinians. Gabal is, then Ammon is so-called Amalek. You know what I'm saying? All them people came up with this conspiracy to keep us from doing this. That's why we do this, because we know this is ultimately the only thing that matters. It's the only way we get home. Okay, it's by doing the Lord's will. So Amos chapter 3 verse 9, it says, publish in the places of Ashdod and the palaces, publish Ashdod, and in the palaces of the land of Egypt, and say, assemble yourselves upon the mountains of Samaria, and behold the great tumults in the midst thereof, and the oppressed in the midst thereof. And those people are oppressed there. They're tired of this place. Definitely tired of this place. So now we're going to go over here. It says thousands of viruses, thousands of new viruses. Okay. So this it says researchers have found 10,000 stories in the form of viruses, many of which had never been identified. So if they couldn't even identify these viruses, did 10,000 viruses, how they gonna seek out the will of the Lord? How they gonna know what the Lord finna do? You know, something that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't expect them to say. And more than likely, they know, you know, but this is how much these devils. You know, how you be making diapers for all this time and then you find out, oh yeah, we forgot about these 10,000 viruses were in there. Okay, even though we make them. So, you know, these people are some devils. You can't trust these people. You know, the worst bird flu outbreak in U.S. history is wiping out everything in numbers we've never seen before. Okay, killed more than 58 million birds. Okay, that's a lot of birds. Okay, here about the city of Bartlesville enters phase 3 of water restrictions. So now they can't. It says outdoor water use is limited to 1 day a week. It's happening all over the place. 1 day a week, ain't gonna be able to use water. 1 day a week, you can't use outside water. So, you know, this is some precepts to kind of tie into those. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse. And it reads, the sword is without, and the pestilence and famine within. And the famine and pestilence are within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall, that's what's coming to these people who don't want to repent and convert. So this is Jeremiah chapter 21 verse, and it reads, and I will smite the inhabitants of this city, and both man and beast, of a great pestilence. So the Lord has been constantly giving out these warnings, showing all over the scriptures. So this is Psalm 78, verse 50. And it reads, he made a way to his end. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. That's what he did. He's given us 2/3. But, you know, the Lord's chosen is elect. They're going to ultimately be saved out of it. We're going to go. So we have to have that spirit of faith. It's Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 13. And it reads, for I will punish them that dwell in the land, which we know this is Egypt. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And also, you know, you want to say the pyramid on the dollar is there. We're in New Egypt, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Bring on the ships. I have punished Jerusalem, which is us, by the sword, by the famine and by pestilence. But now he's going to do it to two. But we all were punished last time, so that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall. That's what happened last time. They shall return, that they shall return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire, for none shall return, but such shall escape. But now we're coming to that point where two-thirds of us, or two-thirds of us not, but the third is going to remain. We're going to make it out. So we got to pray to the Lord with that. We're part of that and hope, but we've already been ordained if we are. And this is what he's going to do for the elect. Surely he snared the fowler from the noise of pestilence. That's Psalm chapter 9 and verse 3. So we are praying this. So now we're going to do Numbers 14, verse 12. Just got a few more precepts. It's Numbers chapter 14, verse 12. And it reads, I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make thee a greater nation, mightier. And that's what the Lord's going to do for us. We just have to endure to the end, and receive from our spiritual leaders what to be doing. They do it. They teach us every day. So it's 28 verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many great kingdoms of war and evil and of pestilence, and that's what they've done. That's what our people before us have done. That's what all the elder apostles have done, and they did it last time. That's what they're doing it this time. That's why we can trust. It says what is done once will be done again. So we know that this is the Lord doing this. This is the Lord. So these is just a couple other things, and then we got one more. Dairy Auto Retailer to close all of its stores after 75 years. And that's showing you this place is going down. Showing you, this place is coming to an end.
So,
actually, I didn't even know this is a looks like a brother who did this. But I actually found this article somewhere, so I'm gonna just leave it like that because I'm not sure who that brother is. I've never seen him. I've never seen that guy. I don't know who that is. I'm saying double honors to the elders and apostles, so it doesn't matter. So we're gonna put in one precept, and we're gonna close out. And read 2 Esdras chapter 6, verse 22. And it reads, and suddenly shall the someplace appear unsown, and the full house storehouses shall suddenly be empty, and that's what's coming. This place is going to be taken down. A lot of people don't want to take it serious. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. And Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, apostles, a great millstone, led me to this truth. I've been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness, and wrath to all those who are part of the hopeful elect, and to the elect of Israel, Lord willing, we be part of that number, Lord willing, and strive and show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. The judgment always comes to light, as Nine, chapter 3, verse 5, verse 9. So Shalom. Everybody stay prayed up out there, and Lord willing, we'll be able to exalt the name of Yahawah. Wah, ball. Yeah, you can park right there. I'm coming out. Come back. You want me to put my bike in the trunk and ride my bike back? All right. Lock you.